We are following breaking news from the Low Country tonight. Alex Murdaugh bonded out of jail, and you could see him quickly getting into this vehicle before being driven away. The judge set a $20,000 recognizance bond for Murdaugh. He also surrendered his passport. The judge put legal extradition in place since Murdaugh is going back to rehab out of state. Fox Carolina's Cody Alcorn was in the Low Country for us today. He's breaking down what happened inside that courtroom as the nation watches a case that keeps getting bigger.
A lot taking place here in VARNVILLE, South Carolina this afternoon. Of course, Alex Murdaugh turned himself in just before noon and spent just about 5 hours here inside the Hampton County Law Enforcement Center, where he had a bond hearing at 4. During that bond hearing, we heard from his attorneys who asked for a $100,000 bond and a GPS monitoring in order to let him out to go back to his rehab facility out of state. The judge didn't do that. In fact, she only gave him a $20,000 PR bond, which means he didn't have to pay anything to walk out, and he did not have to wear a GPS monitoring system. He walked out of the law enforcement center after this bond hearing in the 5 o'clock hour, got into a white expedition, and now is back in an out-of-state facility where he will be getting help with an opioid addiction. His attorneys say he's been fighting for 20 or so years. So again, some people surprised by the low amount of bond, but again, it was a PR bond, meaning he didn't have to pay any money. He did have to give up his passport, so he could not leave the country if he tried to flee. And also, he cannot leave that rehab facility wherever it is out of state without contacting the court or SLED. If he does leave that facility, a bench warrant will be issued for his arrest. So this, again, just the beginning of what will be many developments surrounding the Murdaugh family and Alex Murdaugh himself. From in VARNVILLE, South Carolina, I'm Cody Alcorn. Tori, back to you.
We'll be continuing our coverage from Hampton County tomorrow. Carrie Weimer will be doing live reports throughout the morning news, so make sure you tune in from 4:30 to 9. Now let's break down how we got here in the Murdaugh case. It started back on June 7th. Alex, his wife Maggie, and their son Paul were found shot to death at their hunting property in Colleton County. Now at the time, Paul facing charges from a 2019 boat crash that killed 19-year-old Mallory Beach. On September 4th, Alex Murdaugh shot in the head on the side of the road in Hampton County. And then on Labor Day, Murdaugh announced he was resigning from his family law firm, where he's accused of stealing money. SLED since announced an investigation into those missing funds. Murdaugh also checked into rehab. 2 days after that, the state Supreme Court suspended his law license. And just yesterday, SLED announced a criminal investigation into the death of the Murdaugh's housekeeper, Gloria Satterfield. She died back in 2018 after falling at the Murdaugh's home.